Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. How's everyone doing today? Sound off in the chat. What's going on? Fahid, what's going on? Dream Tanks, what's going on? Reese, WF Capital. Let's see. I gotta switch to live chat. Hey, what's going on, guys? We've got Fahid said first. We finally get a reversal, then it collapses. LOL. Dream Tank said the reason why we collapse is because the third day Heiken-Ashi candle is still bearish for Bitcoin, ETH, and Dogecoin. Wouldn't it? I don't know. I feel like I would like to know the intricacies of this Heiken-Ashi thing. I feel like you're just telling me that the candle turned red because the price went down, but as soon as the price flips green on that initial day, the candle's going to turn green. Like, that's kind of like saying this candle's going to close red because it's red right now. You know what I mean? The logic isn't there for me. I'm still not entirely sold. The data set that we had to go off of is very small. I will say, though, we did wick below our 90K after yesterday, so Mr. John Tujo owes me a channel membership and a local animal shelter donation. So, Mr. John, I look forward to your contribution towards animals because animals are worth more than humans, in my opinion. Bitcoin, 92, 177, and 11 cents. We are kind of chilling. I'm pretty chill. Are you guys chill? Let's go refresh our liquidation heat map and see where we're at. This looks like a mess. Oh my gosh. Nope. I'm clicking on things that I'm not supposed to click on. There we go. WF Capital, I agree. Heiken-Ashi, what's the other one? Logarithmic. My favorite is when people insist. Dream Tanks has been cool about it. But sometimes people are like, you're an idiot unless you use these specific candles. And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? Calm down. It's okay. We got 94.105. 94.105. My favorite, I don't remember who it was. Somebody told me I was dumb because I wasn't using the log. And I was like, what? And I put it on log. I was like, this is all the stuff that you miss when you just use log. 94.325. I'm a little bit all over the place. I'm feeling kind of tired. I think I started drinking coffee again, and I think it's resulting in a crash when I get home. 94.764. I'm convinced that caffeine like makes you exert all of your energy very early in the day. 95.570. Like if you consume caffeine early, your body uses all of that energy, and then you have no more energy for the remainder of the day. Does that make sense? I probably just made it up, but in my brain it makes sense. 91.541. Where did that go? Am I crazy? 91.541. I must have typed it in wrong. No? 91.541. Okay, yeah. And I guess I'll go all the way down here to 89.271. I legit was completely unaware that we even went below 90K. I was so zoned in at work, and I didn't even do anything important. I'm like, I feel like I have permafrost in my like skeleton because of how cold I am right now. It's crazy. Dream Tank said I've been in the market since 2020 and since Dogecoin was at 25.0025. WF Capital said I've been trading Forex for 10 years, been in crypto since Doge 0.0025 means nothing. Let's see. Bitcoin dominance. 59.02. Ooh, I want to break this 59 and plummet. That way I can I was going to say something mean about Ben Cowan, but I'm going to leave him alone for now. We do have a confirmed green dot. I don't want to get too cocky and then have it reverse, so I'm not going to say anything. Hopefully we just lose 59% and continue to the downside so that way alts can get some semblance of at least relief from the dump. Dream Tank said, also Heiken-Ashi called this false, so hate on it if you want. It still was correct, so it's all good. Hindsight is 2020. Just saying things completely irrelevant. ETH is down 0.95% since the daily close. It looks like we lost 31.75. Bounced off of 3K. rejected 31.75, and are continuing our overarching downtrend. Very exciting stuff. Solana, I guess I should talk about ETH a little more. Let's see. Let's see if we stay above this moving average on the RSI. We did get a green dot in the momentum wave, pointing to the upside. But this projection is kind of everything right now. If we don't get back above 31.75, we're probably at least going to test 3K again. Solana's down 0.48 since the daily close. Again, this lower trend line from back here is more relevant than the upper trend line from way back when. So we're keeping an eye on that right now. It does look like we're dancing around it. I don't want to say we broke below or above. We're kind of right on top of it. Kaguya said it's over. Crypto is scam. Maybe it is. Dream Tank said, joke Forex trader. You guys better be nice. Both of you, be nice to each other. You guys both have yellow profile pictures. And that's my least favorite color. So... Alright, I don't know. This is... Solana's different, I feel. It's been very sideways since, like, it reached this price right here. Like 140. And it's been 140 ever since. So... it seems like it's holding up. Zooming out... Ooh, let me extend this purple. This is our neckline. This purple line right here. So this is the inverse head and shoulder that got us to break out to a new all-time high. Right here. And it worked out great. That neckline we've extended over, and that actually became very relevant down here the first time we broke back into this pattern. So the second time, which we are experiencing right now, is it relevant on the same level? Interesting. Dream Tank said if you don't know Heikinashi, you a trash trader, point blank. I don't know Heikinashi. That's all I'm going to say. WF Capital said I've been retired for 13 years. No joke here, man. You're made because no one uses Heikin. You guys be nice, for real. Actually, you guys can fight in the chat as long as none of you guys storm off and be angry because the engagement. I'm all for the engagement. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn, so glad I just finished reading DCA for Dummies yesterday. Finally a little green today. Oh yeah. My buys from the past 2-3 days are green right now. Not for long. It does look like we're getting a little rejection-ish situation here. Kaguya said little green is useless. This is over. Bitcoin can't close weekly in 103. It's over. I mean, we'll have to see. People are saying weekly. I still believe weekly, personally. People are starting to talk about the monthly now, though, which is a little bit irritating. The goalposts keep getting moved. But this is not new. Obviously, closing below the 50-week moving average is a first. That is new. Everything else, though, like the percentage down that we are right now and all that stuff, this is par for the course for a Bitcoin bull market. So regardless of whether or not the moving average situation has ever happened before, there's a million things that have never happened before that have occurred this time around. So when people ironically, sarcastically say this time is different, it actually is different. No matter what way you paint it, it is different. Bitcoin hit new all-time highs before the halving. There was no altcoin season. We just closed a weekly below the 50-week moving average. And if this is not the bear market, if this is not a one-year bear market, then this time is different for that reason. If it is, then this time is different for the reason that there was no alt season. So there's very, very large things that are different this time around. So there's really no argument to be made for the whole this time is different sarcasm thing. That's pretty much it. Bottom line. This time actually is different. There's no way around it. Total threes down 0.41%. Currently trading at 905.27. What did I say? Yeah, my bearish is 711. My bullish is 800 billion for total 3. and that is if we get a downturn here. I like the theory of people talking about 2026 being bullish because 2025 is bearish. Now, that big argument to be made there is that Bitcoin is supposed to, this is supposed to be the year of the Bitcoin bull market. It is the year following the post-halving, or it's the post-halving year. Last year was the year of the halving. This year is post-halving year. There is no Jordan sold time to pump it. Yeah, Jordan sold 80% of his bags according to what he just said. Look at this. The 12-month candle on Bitcoin is red right now. This is not a bull market post-halving candle. You know what I mean? I think people tried to front run 2026 thinking 2026 was going to be the bear market. And in doing that, they've caused 2025 to close red, which is probably going to, if we're being real. 2025 is more than likely going to close red if it continues this trajectory. And that's going to be a first as well. And I think that that's going to cause 2026 to be a green year. I do. So, also the ETF scenario, I think with all the ETFs and all the institutional activity on Bitcoin, the government activity on Bitcoin, it's going to behave more like a stock, or more like the stock market, more akin to the stock market. And stock market, bear markets don't last that long. They last a couple months at most, versus 12 months for Bitcoin. So, it is what it is. All right. ADA. ADA's down 0.88%. Seemingly right now holding this lower trend line. It's a little bit messy, but it's there. We'll see if we continue to hold that. It does look like we got like a little dead cat bounce scenario. Retrace target of 42, probably from like 4 or 5 months ago, is still on the chart. We'll see if we end up hitting that. As of right now, though, I would like to see this yellow trend line hold. Tom Silkscoat said we still in butthole territory. Speaking of butthole territory, today I was driving from the farm to my office, and I felt like a breeze in my groin area, and I was like, that's weird. It felt like maybe it could have been wet. It was alarming. I was like, I'm either pissing myself or bleeding. Both of those are bad. So I stuck my hand down there, and there's a gaping hole in my pants, right where my balls are, which was very upsetting. So I laid them to rest when I got home. It was very sad. Now I have to soil a perfectly good pair of non-work pants and bathe them in the blood of Saruman to wear them for work now. All right, Snack. Snack had a lovely bounce here from the bottom, which we did buy, not financial advice. 14%, very nice. We do have a green dot, confirmed green dot on Market Cipher. We'll see if that means anything. A nice oversold blast off territory on the RSI. And the wicks to the upside are a little frightening, but keep in mind this is only on MXC specifically, so it's not too bad. Outside of that, though, I'm happy. Oh, thank you. Was something happening?
No, you just forgot it and it was going off, so.
That's what I'm asking. Okay.
Good?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. XRP. XRP down 0.65% on the day. Tom Selleck said pump for ants. It is indeed a pump for ants. I was trying so hard to find my stupid... I have the picture of my dumb pump for ants face and the origin photo of Tony Soprano. Let me pull it up. I'll show you guys. This is a good one. The face that's in the thumbnail right now. Here it is. This is where it originates from. From The Sopranos. It's originally from The Sopranos. Tony's laying in bed and he's like, open the door! Get the door! Or something like that. He's yelling at somebody to get the door. And then somebody put glasses on him. And I wear glasses. So I took on the role. It's also supposed to be like a nod, a little, I don't know, ode to the the YouTubers before me. Chewy said, I'm out to sell it all. If you're out, though, shouldn't we buy? Doesn't that mean that it's going to go up? All right. XRP. XRP is interesting because it does genuinely seem like it bounced off of this upper trend line. Obviously, time will tell. If we hit my bounce target again of 210. If we do continue to break down, I expect $2 to be some point of fight for the bulls, because it's a nice psychological level to try to defend. So we'll see if anything comes of that. H-bar is an interesting one because it didn't really the H-bar was one of the coins that got a ETF approval during the government shutdown, but no one seems to care. Orlando said Jordan sold time to pump it. Oh yeah, that's right. Fahid said let's hope so, Orlando. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I'm not gonna clown on Jordan for selling. He's held for years. He sold 80%. He had a plan. He's sticking to it. It is what it is. Now, if he clowns on other people, then I'll clown on him. Because if you're gonna sell, why wouldn't you sell at 120K? You know what I mean? You're gonna wait for 100K to sell? That seems a little silly to me. But we're not there yet. Not until, like I said, not until he's clowning on other people. But yeah, H-bar hasn't really benefited from its ETF launch at all. Nobody seems to care. Now, what's interesting is this situation right here looks very similar to this, just on a different angle, different trajectory. So, is it going to reject like this again and continue to the downside even further? And if it does, it would go to that 10-cent target. I would want to see the yellow trend line break first. Not that it's really had anything to do with this. I feel like whenever there's a stupid arbitrary line that I put on a chart, it comes in handy later, so we'll see. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, Chewy, stop with the crazy talk. Please don't do it. Oh no, he probably sold already. Like, Chewy's one of the few people that I don't think jokes. I don't know if he's capable of joking. He says funny things sometimes, but I don't know if he means them to be funny. SWE is down 0.66% since the daily close. SWE has had a lot of confluence with this lower trend line. And it's kind of, I don't know, would you equate this to a wedge? It kind of seems more like a descending channel to me. Either way, both of them should break bullish eventually. I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. Volume looks okay. RSI, you got green dots like crazy. You got 2 confirmed green dots on Market Cipher, an unconfirmed one right here. A green dot on your momentum wave, which is still in play. And you did get a bounce off of, I don't know, like 16 it looks like. And got back into your little range. So we'll see if we continue to the upside. It's going to be a lot of wait and see for all of these charts pretty much. If you guys got any specific assets you want to check out, sound off in the chat. I'll happily stop what I'm doing and go look at them. Arrow is actually down 1.43% since the daily close, which is interesting. I expect this one to rebound very nicely very soon because it hit the 76-cent line that it rebounds very nicely off of every single time. And it does seem to have a pattern right here where you hit 76, hit a take profit. 76, take profit. 76, take profit. 76, take profit. And then the pattern has established itself now. Is the next take profit going to be at $1.40? Honestly, I kind of like that. We've hit $1.50 before. That was actually my original target back here. Or was it back even? I think it was my original target back here. And we went way higher, and then we came back down, and then that happened to be the target that we hit on the little dead cat bounce, we'll call it. So, I don't know. It's interesting to watch. I definitely think that pattern has something to it. In fact, I'm going to actually draw this. So far, my favorite is people going on like the monthly or weekly or whatever for Bitcoin, and they draw like they start at like the candlestick body, and then they go to the wick, and then they go to the candlestick again because the wicks go way above it. And I'm like, what? There's no consistency to this. And they're like, Bitcoin can't break through this pattern. When if you actually look at it, it already broke it. So, I don't know. People are full of crap. Werewolf Cat said, is there a market cap chart for total crypto we can look at? There is total crypto market cap. Let's take a look at Toshi first. Gourmet Brands Brooklyn requested. Toshi on OKX. Have I looked at this before? Maybe I have not. Poloniex? Why do I feel like I've looked at this, but there's no chart? There we go. MXC. Okay, Toshi. So we had the support line at 5016, and it rode it quite nicely. Eventually, though, it did break below, and it tried to hold this 41 level, broke below that, rejected, rejected. If you truly reject here, it's probably going to get pretty spicy. Go to the higher time frame, see if I can find... Well, actually, that's not true. There's some confluence, I would say right there. And then right there. That's kind of your last level right there. This one's going to be very, very thin if you do end up getting down here. I mean, at that point, you're only going to 0. So I'm going to make that a dash line. But if you lose this 4189-ish level, let's call it 41.9. If you lose this 41.9 or even 42 level, you're looking at 34.7-ish for the next potential target. This does seem like it's got reversal potential right here with these two candles, but we'll have to wait and see. And then Chainlink's down 0.15 since the daily close. 4 hour. Chainlink doesn't look too bad, actually. We're kind of playing around the $13 level. We're at 13.77 right now. Can we get back above 14? It does look like it's rejecting it right here. This is 14. So I want to get back above 14. I like this wick on this 4 hour candle. We'll have to wait till, what, midnight to see where that closes? Or is it 11? I think it's 11 after daylight savings. So 11 p.m. EST to see if this closes red or green. If we get a nice wick to the downside and it closes green, that could be indicative of some buying pressure. And getting above 14 would be even better. RSI is above the moving average, which is good. We do got a green dot in the momentum wave as well. Yeah, I kind of like it. The $14 level is all psychological. There's no chart data to really make that level a nuisance. So let's get above that. So take a look at total crypto market cap. So this one's interesting. It's at 3.13 trillion. And what were we doing? We looked at this the other day, and I like saw something and it blew my mind. I think it's this lower trend line. So we've watched 9-month bleed, 5-month bleed, and it's just repeating. And Bitcoin is doing the exact same thing, by the way. Bitcoin has these recurring situations. Now watch this. If this is a different trajectory, let's call it that. Looks pretty good. And if it hits this yellow trend line and bounces, then all the people saying that the bull market's over and that we're going to 0, if this bounces and then goes straight back up here to a new all-time high, then unfortunately all the people that are selling right now are going to feel like idiots. Because it's not going to take long for it to get to this yellow trend line. Now, if it doesn't and it breaks straight through below that and continues the downside, people like me are going to feel like idiots all the same. You know, it's kind of a 50-50 scenario right now. But we are looking for a minimum, in order to get to that trend line, another average for alts, another 10% to the downside. We'll actually average for the entire cryptocurrency field, we'll call it. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, cool, man, thanks for the levels to look out for. Absolutely. I feel kind of groggy today. I don't know why. It's really bugging me. I did have a large coffee. That could be entirely why. We do have a green dot on the momentum wave, unconfirmed green dot on market cipher. The unconfirmed dot doesn't mean anything. The green dot on the momentum wave, though, in oversold territory, is indicative of at least a short-term temporary rebound. So let's see this thing maybe do one of these and then continue down one more and then boop and then bam. That is what I want to see. Not financial advice, obviously. And maybe the bam takes a long time. You know what's interesting, actually? Taking a closer look at this. The dumps seem to be occurring faster and the pumps seem to be taking longer each time. So is the next one going to be one of these? And is it gonna take forever. Dang. All right, hang on. Let's actually properly figure this out. I want to copy paste this. I work in architecture when I'm in the office, so I actually deal with a lot of these stupid shapes. So I do feel oddly qualified for this. It's going to be one of these, and it's going to be about that long. Maybe a little bit less of an angle. Matching angle, though. Well, maybe a little bit more. I'm going to go right there. All right, so we're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of that. And then I'm going to go... Bum-ba-da-da. And then, total market cap, April, May 2026. No way. Is this going to line up perfectly? Am I a genius? All right, just because I want to keep this exact same trajectory, just for the sake of my sanity, I want this right there, right there. And then this one, I'm just going to go boop, right there. Delete that one. Sweet. Okay. So, well, I'm going to have to copy this too. It's not long enough. That's not the right one. So if that's the case, then this is approximately this cross right here. Oh, I'm not allowed to see. That goes into like 2028. So never mind. Wouldn't that be crazy? Adam Salem said it was not a good idea to buy Polkadot 3 weeks ago. Oh, dang. Let's see. Where's Polkadot at? Polkadot's down 0.22 3 weeks ago. We're on the daily. 3 weeks ago, let me look at my calendar, was 1, 2, 3, October 28th. Yeah, no, you're right. October 28th, you're probably down minimum 10, 11%. Seems like it's holding up better than other stuff, though, oddly enough. This purple trend line on Polkadot has been weirdly relevant, which previously had only had 2 points of confluence on the daily. So, it's interesting. It is genuinely, it fascinates me putting these stupid lines on the chart, and then a week later, they're like super relevant, very important lines. It blows my mind. It seems silly, but until you put a stupid arbitrary line on your chart and discover like months later, you're like, oh, I put that there. And then the chart like bounces off of it perfectly, or it's like a neckline for an inverse head and shoulder. Beautiful textbook inverse head and shoulder, by the way, with an explosive move to the upside. Feels pretty damn good. Adam Salem said you should buy MicroStrategy. See, my dumbass, I should have. Look at that. I've been joking about this. I was like, I'm going to short this. And then I was like, no, it feels like I'm shorting the bottom because it looks like crap. And then it's up 5.82% on the day. So thank God I didn't short it. If I ever say I'm going to short something or I should short something, you guys should go buy it. Not financial advice. I am really bad at shorting anything. I'm so bad at it. I think I've had like 3 successful shorts in my entire life. Every other time I've opened up a short, I end up underwater. Every single time. And it's usually the pico bottom when I'm like, I'm going to short this. My brain goes, F this, it's over, I'm going to open up a short. And then the market's like, let's go. Let's go up now. Happens every single time, man. I'm a victim. Silver. Silver got interesting. So did gold, but starting with silver. We've got right here, textbook inverse head and shoulder. And without leaving that on the chart, let's just put the neckline. Neckline, I'd say, is about there. So let's keep an eye on that, see if that becomes relevant. I do kind of... It didn't touch, though. It didn't touch at all. So, could I... Well, actually, this right here, let's do that. Because we got our wicks, and those all line up perfectly. So that's what we'll say happened. You got your inverse head and shoulder, your neckline, and you got a breakout, retest, confirmation. Is it going to continue to the upside? Adam Salem said, did you buy /short GameStop? No, my stock game has been weak. I've been just recently getting into stocks. I like accidentally bought Kodak and not realizing that they're in medicine and stuff. My Kodak shares, the picture company, are up. Oh, I guess I'm only up 4%. That's stupid. I thought I was up more than that. Maybe it was up more. What else? What do I have that did really good? I think Applied Digital did really good. I bought some Indivior, which since I bought it, it is up 7.4%, which is pretty sick. So I bought Indivior when Trump made the deal with China about about fentanyl, because Indivior makes Suboxone, and when you are going through opiate or opioid withdrawals, Suboxone is one of the treatments, and I felt like that was a no-brainer. Like, no fentanyl or less fentanyl equals more rehabilitation. Seems to be paying off. Just Have Fun said, "What's up? What's going on? Just Have Fun." We're talking a little bit of stocks, which is interesting. Silver, I did not realize that we got this nice neckline situation here. So we had a head and shoulder break down into a inverse head and shoulder, which broke up into a rejection, and this blue line was not here until this rejection occurred, and that formed bearish div, which resulted in a retest of our neckline, which is now getting a nice bounce. Are we going to hit that bearish div again, or are we going to go higher? This is the right kind of bearish div that does eventually result in the price just trading lower while the RSI trades higher. Now, that being said, if this is going to continue consolidation up here, there is a very good possibility that we create some gigantic flag that we break bullish out of. You see it? I don't know how high it's going to go, or if it's going to go high at all. But I do like the concept. We're planning for a little farther into the future than I think most people do, but it is what it is. Go take a look at gold as well. Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Appreciate you guys for being here. Gold is a little bit different, I think. Let's actually look. Because I see the neckline thing. No? I don't know. Let's connect these right now. See how much relevance there is. It doesn't look like there's any, honestly. There's no rhyme or reason to the bounce that we got. Well, no, actually, technically there is. I guess I would just make this argument. We connected these 2 points with this point, and that created this trend line, which we did bounce off of very nicely. We got a little double top here. Broke below our nice trend line that we had established from September, and rejected, and then formed this, which kind of resembles a inverse head and shoulder. We broke out, and then that rejected off of, it looks like 4,200-ish, 4,250 we'll call it, which is where the support was right here, same exact level. So we had support here, which turned into resistance. Those are the points of confluence you got to look out for. And that resistance rejected. And then you got to bounce off of your support here. So that support remained support, which is exactly what we want for longer term upside. Now the next question is going to be, are we going to break back, or make another attempt at least, to get above this previous support turned resistance? And with that, are we forming a bull flag with an upside potential? I don't know. I'm going to get rid of this because I don't think that's relevant. This, though, I do really like. I'm going to leave that there exactly like that. And let's see if we continue this trajectory for a potential, like if the yellow line was the average price all the way up, I could see that. I kind of like that. But it is a moon boy scenario. But again, you know, drawing this exact same thing down here probably was the same idea. Somebody somewhere probably went like this, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's way too bullish. Gold doesn't move that fast." And then it went bam, and it moved that fast. And the people who saw it and traded it probably made the most money. Look at how much more volume we have here too. Everyone always argued, they're like, "Where's the money going to come from? Post-pandemic, where's the money going to come from?" Have you not seen the M2 money supply? The money's going to come from everywhere. There is so much money. There's so much money on the planet right now. And there's like derivatives of money as well. When they can turn debt into more money with stablecoins, which kind of blows my mind. Like issuing stablecoins off of the backs of debt, you kind of want debt because then you could just use that to create more money. Imagine if you could take your credit card debt, turn it into stablecoin, and gamble with that. That kind of crazy. You're like, well, this is my debt, and I know I'm going to pay it off or whatever. Maybe you're not going to pay it off. Who cares? The stablecoin's still a stablecoin. Now you could have a DPEG and that would be an issue, but that's an issue for another conversation. DXY getting a little rally here, which is interesting. People tend to tie the DXY rallying with bearish momentum in stocks and bonds and commodities and all that stuff. So it's definitely a weird thing to see for sure. Now, the past couple of times this thing has gone up, it has entered overbought territory on the RSI, which is interesting. We got right here. We got right here. And we got right here. So is it going to do the same thing? Probably. How high is it going to go? I don't know. We do have this this trend line was a very, very long-term trend line that we've been tracking since 2023. And we finally broke below it and rejected. So are we coming back down or coming back up for another rejection, or are we going to break back above it and continue to the upside from there? That'd be interesting to see. MicroStrategy, we just talked about, it's up 5.82%. It did, I mean, my last ditch effort, like support level, was the average previous high, which was 186, and it does seem like it kind of found support there. It's back above 200, which is good. I think MicroStrategy needs to trade to the upside desperately. I really do. I think 200 is too low for MicroStrategy, and not in like a "ooh, I'm scooping this up" kind of way, in like a "uh-oh, I'm kind of scared of this" kind of way. Nasdaq is down 0.23 since the daily close. Or not since the daily close. Nasdaq is already closed. Nasdaq market close. What is this though? It does look like a downturn. Does it mimic anything we've seen recently? I guess it kind of looks similar to this. No, it looks more like this to me. So let's copy that. I'm going to copy this fractal just to see. You guys know I'm a fractal guy. I like me some fractals, even if it's just to get an idea. That's not what I wanted to do. Even if it's just to get an idea of what has happened in the past, what has worked in the past, compared to what's happening today, and what could work today. Look at that. I kind of like that. I really like that, actually. So are we going to see a recovery into Thanksgiving? Whoa. Okay, that got really trippy. Look how good that looks. You got this. You got the little spike. Dude, I'm going to leave this on here. We're going to see how well that plays out. That's a good looking fractal. Are you kidding me? I feel like I can make it line up even better too. Wow. Whoa. I mean, they don't call me the fractal Farquad for nothing. That's pretty cool. All right, so we'll see where that ends up. That's exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff. If that does go to where it's going to 28, which is pretty crazy. From here to our target of 28, that's a 14% incline. S&P 500. Man, this thing This thing's got like quite a few violent recoveries, doesn't it? And I'm going to do a fractal on this one as well, just because I can. I think I'm looking at this right here. And then, bam. We're going to get one of those. Or could it be that? Actually, I don't mind that either. I kind of like that. Do I like that better? It's hard to tell. What do you guys think, A or B? I mean, A does not line up as good as B does. Both of them kind of dictate that we bounce relatively soon. So as far as time frame goes, they're pretty good. See, I don't really see us going down that much farther, but that 64.40 support would kind of make sense. I don't know. I'll leave it like this, I guess. This is worst case scenario, and we are about to enter oversold on the 4 hour. So we'll see what happens. Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. If you're new, please consider subscribing. We do a daily close contest, mostly every day. Sometimes I don't make it home on time because we got jobs. Bitcoin dominance. I don't know how relevant this is, but there is a confirmed green dot on Market Cipher on Bitcoin dominance. I don't know if that means Bitcoin dominance is going to pump. Bitcoin's going to pump. I don't know. Nobody knows. Let's go check fear and greed really quick. What are you guys thinking? I'm going to guess right now that it's at like a 12. I'm guessing fear and greed is at a 12. I'm not going to search it yet. What do you guys think fear and greed is at? Actually, I'm going to do a poll. I'm going to do above 10 or below 10. I think that we were, I don't even remember, were we at 10 yesterday or was it at 12 or 14? Tom Selleck Scout says it's like a 11. I don't remember, because we did 2 days in a row at 10. And then it went up to 14, and I think yesterday was at 12. What are you guys thinking? Personally, oddly enough, even with the bounce, I feel like sentiment is worse off today than it was the past 2-3 days. It's been just progressively getting worse and worse. There's so many people like legitimately leaving. And they always announce that they're leaving. People that I've never even seen before, they're like, I'm leaving crypto. I'm not sure what that's supposed to accomplish. Like, are they fishing for somebody to be like, don't do it? Or are they hoping somebody else is like, me too, this place sucks, let's blow this popsicle stand? You know what I mean? What are you looking for when you tell people, I'm leaving? You're probably looking for either positive affirmation or somebody to like convince you otherwise. Those are really the only two things that make sense. All right, Tom Selleck Scout said 11. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said 14. I'm going to end the poll. I don't want to take up too much time just with one stinking question. The poll dictates. We got 2 votes. You guys both said above 11, okay. Or above 10. Let's go take a look. Fear and greed. What's happening? Fear, crypto fear and greed index. Bam. It is at a 15. Okay. Okay, yesterday was 11. So we've got November 15th. 10, 10, 14, 11, 15. All right. I just realized my Wi-Fi is not on. That's crazy. My phone's really dark as well. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Help me. Okay. All right, let's go check CoinMarketCap's Fear and Greed Index as well. I actually prefer that one because they have like a full data set. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index on alternative.me bothers me because 15% of what they used to measure it with is just not being measured. I don't know why. They said that they own the website. I don't know if they just don't want to pay, whatever they got. It's weird. It's a weird setup. Why would you just remove this entirely then and rebalance it? If 15% of the data is missing, what fills up that 15% void? What is filling that 15% hole? Because during all last bull market, all the data that we got during last bull market, we had that 15% was filled in with surveys. And now the surveys are gone. And there isn't 15 other items to add 1% to. So, or 7 items to add 2% to. It's kind of a mess. It bugs me. Remove it. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, really, I feel sentiment was a little better today. General consensus, or it could be that I have idiot friends. I wish I had idiot friends. Unfortunately, all my friends are smart and good looking. I'm just kidding. I don't have any friends. Who we kidding? Fear and Greed is at 16. I have to make a phone call. Excuse me. What the hell? I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like an old man. I think I pressed the Google video call thing on accident. CoinMarketCap's Fear and Greed is an index is at 16.
Hello?
What is happening?
What do you mean?
Our child is screaming. Okay, well, I mean, I'm gonna be done soon, but it's just. All right, love you.
Do you want to say something?
Please. Okay. All right, CoinMarketCap Fear and Greed is at 16, and it was this low. What is this all time? In March and April, which we did look on the chart before. On the daily, back here, that is literally when we bottomed. Back here, March and April, Fear and Greed was at its lowest. At least on CoinMarketCap. I believe that was also the last time on the other Fear and Greed index, where it was super duper low. If I go to the year, yeah, right here. March and April. See, it was only in the 20s back then though. It's at 10 right now. February 27th for some reason, which we've looked at that as well. That one was an interesting one. It was literally during this downturn. That's February 27th right there. This green candle, that little green guy right there. That was when it was at 10. So we did go lower after that. A couple of times actually. We rebounded after that, and then lower, and then we continued to the upside. So the market maker kind of doesn't give a crap about Fear and Greed. We could be doing that. Imagine we did that. Imagine we have to wait till January 1st, 2026. What a coincidence. And then we continue the upside. I'm just saying. Okay. And I'm sure our 50-week moving average is probably a little bit lower now. Or do we have to wait for the weekly close? That's a good question, actually. But it's probably around 100K. 100,000, 100,500. So let's go through some news articles. We've got a lot of news today. A lot of it's economic, like geared around the economy. So bear with me here. Watch Your Guru posted. Gemini co-founder Cameron Winklevoss says this is the last time you'll ever be able to buy Bitcoin below 90,000. Cloudflare went down. Cloudflare begins recovering from worldwide outage, taking popular services like X and ChatGPT down. I believe the McDonald's menus were also down. People couldn't go through the drive-thru because for some reason, instead of storing the stupid, probably image file locally on their devices in their restaurants, McDonald's has their menus on the cloud, which seems so weird and arbitrary. Like, wait until your entire operating system on your phone is on the cloud. And if you don't have internet service, you just can't use your phone at all. That seems like the goofiest thing in the world to me, but and it's not like they're like, "Oh, well, we need to make the phone smaller because storage takes up so much space." Storage takes up no space. Storage takes up less space than your pinky nail. So I'm not sure, like, the cloud thing is understandable to an extent, but not for something stupid like the menu at McDonald's. That just seems silly to me. Next, we've got Google launches Gemini 3, claiming to be the world's most intelligent AI model, which is very strange. What are the odds that Berkshire Hathaway loads up on Google right before this? You will not convince me that they don't have insider information. Saudi Arabia to invest $1 trillion in the U.S. Very cool. President Trump says he would love to replace Fed Chair Jerome Powell right now. He says he knows who he will pick to replace Jerome Powell as Fed Chair. U.S. banking regulator says banks can now hold crypto to pay blockchain network fees, according to Bloomberg. Brian Armstrong says there has been a lot of progress on crypto market structure legislation and it could pass in December. I feel like he's been saying this every single day for like 3 months. We don't care anymore. We've lost interest. That's the boy who cried wolf. The CEO who cried market structure. Marty Party posted Trump live, says he knows who he will pick to replace Jerome Powell as Fed chair. In my opinion, Moran. Whoops. Portnoy buys $2 million in crypto last night. That is the first time I've seen a smart move when it comes to crypto by Jeff Portnoy. Is that his name, Jeff? So, exciting stuff. Thank God he bought the dip and not the top. Because I feel like every time I heard about it, he was buying the top. And I just knew it was going to result in some negative press for crypto. Stablecoin mint 1 minute ago. This was 6 hours ago. Circle issues $250 million on Solana. 500 million USDC issued on Solana 6 hours ago. Very cool. Small caps are being left behind. Kobayashi letter. Currently, just 25% of the S&P 500's industry groups are trading above their 10-week moving average, the lowest share since April sell-off. This means just 6 of the 25 sub-industries are still holding above that level. This percentage has declined 60 points over the last few weeks. As a result, 44% of the S&P 500 stocks are trading above their 50-day moving average, one of the lowest readings since April. Market participation is declining. Interesting. China has not resumed some critical rare earth exports to the U.S. Yttrium, one of the key rare earth elements, has not been shipped to the U.S. from China for several months, with exports stopping early after the April controls. Yttrium is essential for high-temperature superconductors, jet engines, advanced coatings, missile systems, lasers, and specialized ceramics. China's yttrium exports to the rest of the world have fallen by 30% over the same period. Before export controls, the U.S. imported 93% of its yttrium directly from China, with the remaining 7% sourced from Chinese processed material. As a result, U.S. industry stockpiles have collapsed this year, with one rare earth trader reporting inventories dropping from 200 tons to just 5 tons. Industry sources estimate U.S. stockpiles range from 1 to 12 months of consumption. The U.S. needs China's rare earths. Why on earth, pun intended, have we become so dependent on another country's exports? I believe that the United States used to be the number one exporter of rare earths. And then, don't quote me on this, but I think the early 2000s, China just started ramping up production and they just took over. And the U.S. was like, okay, we'll become fat and lazy and we won't care. We'll just import it from China. That's a lot easier. And this is exactly what we get. Cloudflare says it was hit by an unusual spike in traffic, resulting in website outages for millions of users on platforms including X and ChatGPT. Cloudflare stock net is now down over 5% on the day. Breaking, U.S. companies lost 2,500 jobs per week in October, according to ADP data. The U.S. Labor Department also reports that initial jobless claims totaled 232,000 in the week ended October 18th. The Cloudflare outage is impacting over 100 million website users, with thousands of websites reporting complete blackouts. This comes after 2 major Amazon Web Service outages in 2025. Why are internet outages becoming so common? I truly believe it's because of AI. I think AI is kind of ramping up the users that are bombarding these essentially hard drives or whatever it may be, referencing information, and stuff just gets pretty much DDoSed. We're DDoSing ourselves with artificial intelligence. The U.S. and Saudi Arabia are set to announce a deal with multi-billion-dollar investment in American AI infrastructure via dozens of investments. This will be part of a pledge to invest $600 billion in the U.S. I believe they ramped it up to $1 trillion now. Breaking, the U.S. and Saudi Arabia are set to announce a deal with cooperation on civil nuclear energy. The AI revolution is quickly becoming all about energy. What did I say? We're going to build an energy portfolio, and I'm going to make a stock market video where we're going to build an energy market portfolio. President Trump said, the only healthcare I will support or approve is sending the money directly back to the people. Interesting. Very, very interesting. With nothing going to the big, fat, rich insurance companies who have made trillions and ripped off America long enough, the people will be allowed to negotiate and buy their own much better insurance. Power to the people. Congress, do not waste your time and energy on anything else. This is the time. This is the only way to have great healthcare in America. Get it done now, President DJT. Drummer said, don't forget to like and subscribe, everyone. Appreciate you, Drummer. The Dow extends 5-day losses to nearly 2,000 points as the sell-off spreads beyond crypto. This continues to feel like a routine correction in equities. Nvidia earnings can change everything tomorrow. Don't forget about that, guys. It's very important. Breaking. Nvidia, Microsoft, and Anthropic announced new strategic partnership. Partnership details include Anthropic buys $30 billion of Azure compute capacity, Nvidia to invest $10 billion in Anthropic, Microsoft to invest $5 billion in Anthropic, Nvidia and Anthropic to collaborate on design and engineering. Nvidia and Anthropic establish deep technology partnership. Another multi-billion-dollar AI deal has arrived. Interesting. Elon Musk on teaming up with Apple to fix Siri. Elon said, I'm down. Of course he is. The Fear and Greed Index, I believe this is for the stock market specifically, falls to 9, the lowest level since April 11th. Extreme fear and sentiment has last seen at the April 2025 bottom. Yet the S&P 500 is down 4% from its record high and up 37% since April low. This is simply not what you see before a market crash. Some perspective. 1. Bitcoin averages 2 declines of 20% or more per year. 2. Ethereum averages 3 declines of 20% or more per year. 3. The S&P 500 averages 4 declines of 5% or more per year. 4. The NASDAQ 100 averages 4 declines of 5% or more per year. 5. Gold averages 1 decline of 10% or more per year. 6. The VIX spikes above 20 roughly 40 times per year. That is the volatility index, by the way. 7. The average S&P 500 stock declines 20% once every 12 months. Zoom out and ignore the noise. Interesting. If we do recover from here, then I'm convinced that crypto is very heavily tied to the stock market, and it's going to behave more like the stock market, and the time of the 12-month-long bear markets will be long behind us if we recover. Saudi Arabia announces that it will increase its investment in the U.S. to $1 trillion after meeting with President Trump. They like Trump. They really do. President Trump says he thinks he already knows who will be the next Fed chair, and interviews are underway. Trump also says he would love to get Fed Chair Powell out right now, but people are holding him back from firing him. If they announce who it's going to be beforehand, I think everything Powell says will be junk. Nobody's going to pay attention to it. People are only going to pay attention to whoever the new guy is and what he's saying. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. Investors are piling into U.S. equity funds. U.S. equity ETFs have attracted $1.3 trillion in net inflows on annualized rate year to date, putting them on track for a record year. This exceeds money market fund inflows of $1.2 trillion, the second largest on record. Large cap stock funds and technology funds have seen $423 billion and $72 billion in inflows respectively. Meanwhile, corporate investment grade bond ETFs have attracted $430 billion in inflows year to date. On the other hand, small cap funds posted record outflows of $64 billion. Demand for U.S. stocks is through the roof. The appetite for risk is also through the roof. Breaking. In a 427-1 vote to 1, by the way, one person voted against it. That's the most sus shit I've ever seen. The U.S. House of Representatives has passed a bill to release the Epstein files. The bill now heads to the Senate. That one guy, dude, That one guy. What an idiot. Seriously. Like, could you paint a bigger target on your face than to be the one person that voted against this? Wow. That actually blows my mind. U.S. Treasury issuance is skyrocketing. The U.S. government sold $693.5 billion in treasuries last week across 9 auctions over 3 days. $549.1 billion came from T-bills, with maturities ranging from 4 to 52 weeks. At the same time, $144.4 billion in notes and bonds were issued, including $48.5 billion in 10-year notes and $28.9 billion in 30-year bonds. The total amount of outstanding T-bills is now up to a record $6.59 trillion, doubling since 2020. As a percentage of marketable Treasury securities, T-bills hit 22%, near the highest since 2021. U.S. government borrowing is rising at a crisis pace. And for some reason, we're still just barely above 50% for a Fed rate cut in December. I think we're getting one. Cointelegraph posted security. Private key theft has become a full-fledged business using malware and seed phrase scanners to raid wallets and backups, GK8 warns. Be careful, guys. Please, 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 for the love of God, do not keep your seed phrase in any way, shape, or form digitally. I don't care if you're like, oh, it's on a device that has no access to the internet. I don't care. Write it down on a piece of paper, stamp it into some metal, carve it into a freaking tree. Do not keep it in your notes app. Don't keep it in a Word doc. Don't keep it as a JPEG file. Don't keep it anywhere digitally. That is actually insane. I know way too many people that have done that. One of them is the founder of a very prominent project, and they got completely decimated because his shit got compromised. And he played innocent, but I knew the truth. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. And then these people are like, well, it's not that big of a deal. It is a big deal. You're literally like, you're leaving your front door open and there's a pile of cash right in the entryway. It's stupid. Update. The stablecoin issuer Tether is backing Ledin, which offers Bitcoin collateralized loans. Ledin, I'm assuming lend. It's supposed to be a play on words like hold and hodl. Serves users in over 100 countries, providing loans without forcing users to sell their Bitcoin. That's actually really cool. Update. New OCC guidance says U.S. banks may hold limited amounts of crypto as principal to cover gas fees, subject to existing risk and compliance rules. Very interesting. Insight. Analysts see Bitcoin hitting a new all-time highs before the end of 2025, despite current bearish signals and a potential drop towards 75K zone. That is crazy. Whoever these analysts are have huge balls. Enormous balls. Stock Money Lizards posted 100K will be the toughest nut to crack and decide where Bitcoin is heading. 100K, 12-month simple moving average, bull market support, descending resistance, 618 fib retracement resistance. The current relief bounce is a start. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. It really is. Then we've got when Bitcoin crashes, normies freaking out, Bitcoiners just smiling, Bitcoin tourists also freaking out. This guy's just having the time of his life. Dude, I want to watch Survivor again. That's such a good show. Classic. Jeff Swanson posted Bitcoin continues its collapse, ultimately going to zero. You can really see it here on this chart. As you can see here, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, the price of Bitcoin has suffered since its launch. And I guess this chart starts in 2011. But since 2011, the price of Bitcoin has suffered tremendously, seemingly increasing only to $100,000. What a scam. Absolute sham. Ponzi scheme. Vivek Sen posted, someone has been buying Bitcoin every single day, worth over $264 million now. Something is coming big time. I don't know why that means something is coming big time, but I do thoroughly support the idea of dollar cost averaging, especially daily. Daily dollar cost average is actually insane. So, cheers to that guy. Let's actually take a sip of our chai latte. Cheers, guys. Happy Tuesday. Feel free to sound off in the chat. Chat's awfully quiet today. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said sentiment felt a little bit better, but the chat is completely dead silent. Yesterday it was popping off, dude. You guys were up, like hanging out, having a good time. Yesterday was super chill. Mustache, we all know how reliable he is, but he posts some good charts. I like the charts. I like to gather information from everyone, even the permables. Altcoins, wow, total 2 equals 8.5 year trend line touched. This is where the big alt season started in 2017. This is where the big alt season started in 2020. Will history repeat itself? I mean, we got 2017. We got the pandemic crash. Oh, geez. And we got a couple of touches right now. Drummer said I'm in the middle of cooking. What are you cooking? Tracer posted buy altcoins now. Wait for December. Sell with 100x profit. Let's freaking go. I actually really like this one. It shows the downtrend and it's changing trajectories like we talked about. And we're about to explode to the upside. First one was 386%. Then we got 573. Are we going to go up 1,000? Maybe like 8. Let's call it 800. Let's go up 800%. Let's get an 8x out of our alts. Minimum. On average. Tap Tools posted the state of major altcoins heading into 2026. ETF filing, we've got Tron.eth Aave, Sui, HBAR, Filecoin, ADA, Sol, XRP, Avalanche, Aptos, Litecoin, Stellar, Near, Link, and Doge. Made in USA. All of those besides Tron.eth and Aave include Algo, Ondo, DYDX, and Helium, Tezos, Ape, Uniswap, and Atom. And then Coinbase 50 Index. ICP, 1inch, Fetch, Matic, Sand, Bonk, Chiliz, Shib, Graph, Synthetics, Polkadot, Aave, ETH, Neuralink, Doge, Aptos, Avalanche, XRP, Stellar, Litecoin, Solana, ADA, Uniswap, Atom, Ape, and Tezos. Interesting. So the ones that fit all three of those, made in USA, ETF filing, and the Coinbase 50 Index are ADA, Sol, XRP, Avalanche, Aptos, Litecoin, Stellar, Near, Link, and Doge. Interesting. I like that, actually. That's a good bag. Maybe we should make that portfolio the trifecta portfolio, the US-based ETF Coinbase 50 Index. Coinbase Index portfolio. I think it'd be kind of cool. And then last but not least, we've got Bitcoin Hopium. The best moment to buy altcoins is now. Privacy Coins, Fire Eyes. I don't know what Fire Eyes means. But we've got 2012 Explosion, 2016 Explosion, 2020 Explosion, and now. It's looking like Explosion. Obviously, only time will tell. Now, there's one more thing that I want to take a look at. So I'll go back to the Bitcoin chart. 92,364. Before we move on from our news segment, I do want to remind us what's happening this week. Our key events are New York Fed manufacturing data was on Monday, which was yesterday. Today, nothing happened. Tomorrow is a big day. Tomorrow we have Fed meeting minutes, NVIDIA earnings report, and then Thursday, September jobs report, and Philly Fed manufacturing data, and October existing home sales. And then Friday, we've got November services PMI data, November manufacturing PMI data, Michigan consumer sentiment data, and Michigan inflation expectations data. There's a total of 14 Fed speaker events this week. Buckle up, folks. Economic data is back. CryptoSpaces said, why is Zcash pumped so hard yet everything else dying? I'm not sure. I actually enjoyed one of the meme concepts when all the Epstein stuff randomly resurfaced. People were saying that all the people involved in the Epstein stuff were selling their crypto and putting it into Zcash to avoid like getting rugged on their investments, on their, their funds that were illegally acquired one way or the other. Like if you have Bitcoin and you sell it into Zcash, you're suddenly off the grid entirely. You can go to prison for like 5 years. Maybe they can't prove anything. Maybe they can, whatever. You're like, I don't know where the money went. It's gone forever. They have no way of getting to it. And then you get out and you still have all of your money and it's fully private. Now, my question is it going to continue up from here? Or is it going to start to fall. It is very interesting knowing like where we're heading. If we're about to see regulatory clarity approved, that would be another big sign of maybe some insiders in the government trying to hide their money that they acquired, maybe nefariously. Maybe they had it in Bitcoin and crypto, and maybe this new clarity stuff is going to force them to tell their employer, the government, how much cryptocurrency holdings they have, and if it's in Zcash, then they can prove that they have none. You know what I mean? Definitely interesting. You know what? Actually, I would like to ask Grok what Grok thinks. Why do you think Zcash, the crypto, pumped so much with the rest of the market dumping super hard? I want to hear what theories Grok has, because it has definitely been interesting. Monero is up 7.32 in the last week. Zcash is up 38 in the last week. It does look like it's starting to curl over though, on the at least on this weekly chart that CoinMarketCap has. Hopefully that's not the case, but you never know. All right, Grok key drivers: privacy coins Renaissance plus Monero synergy. Zcash and Monero have both exploded up 500% in the same window, reigniting the privacy meta narrative in a world of increasing regulatory scrutiny on traceable chains like Bitcoin and ETH. Sideline transactions are suddenly hot again. Zcash's tech positions it as the perfect privacy play, especially as zero knowledge proofs gain traction in layer 2 scaling. This has spilled over into related ZK tokens, creating a mini rotation even as alts bleed. Arthur Hayes influenced an exit pump speculation. The biggest catalyst, BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes, who's been pounding the table on Zcash as a Bitcoin cycle hedge in recent interviews and posts. He's floating wild targets like 10K per Zcash, framing it as an exit liquidity play for whales dumping into privacy amid a bearish macro setup. This sparked massive speculation, propelling Zcash into the top 20 cryptos, with a $10 billion plus market cap for the first time since 2018. Hayes' calls aren't subtle, they're meme-worthy rocket fuel in a dumping market. Short liquidations and technical momentum. October's 500% rally triggered cascading shorts, with liquidations fueling the fire. Zcash broke key resistance like $600, a 4-year high, on high volume, forming a rising wedge that trapped bears, even as the market liquidated 20 billion plus in positions tied to tariff fears. Zcash's low float and cult following made it resilient. Trading volume hit 1.8 billion at peaks, but it's since cooled, hinting at potential profit taking. And the last one, social media and celebrity buzz. Reddit and X lit up with Zcash moon chatter from $50 to $320 in weeks, drawing retail FOMO, celebrity nods, exact names fuzzy, but think crypto influencers echoing Hayes. Added legitimacy, turning it into a self-fulfilling prophecy. In a sea of red charts, Zcash became the only green story everyone piled into. Yeah, it definitely turned into a flavor of the week scenario. I'm guessing that's what this is. People price sold, and then it got flavor of the week, and that flavor of the week does not necessarily mean it's a bad buy. That's just me speculating, because if it was still super uber bullish and everyone was piling in, it would not have stalled out. It would be doing this blow off top situation. It got up here and it started to do the flavor of the week thing. It could go higher, or it could peter out and then eventually trade lower and then maybe rebound. Who knows? There's a million different things that can happen. The fact that it's been sitting dormant since 2018 though has me a little standoffish. Bottom line, this feels like fundamentals and more like this feels less like fundamentals and more like a sentiment short squeeze in a privacy niche that's timely amid de-dollarization fears and on-chain surveillance debates. If Hayes' 1K to 10K calls hold water, it could extend. Otherwise, watch for a dump back to 400 support. Yeah, it's at 608 right now. If Bitcoin keeps bleeding, either way, it's a reminder that in crypto dumps, outliers like Zcash steal a show on pure hype velocity. What's your take, riding it or waiting for the pullback? I actually, unfortunately, own 0 of it, which stinks. If I was into privacy, I probably would have bought Monero, though, so I would have missed the Zcash run regardless. All right, did we finish? We did finish our news segment. The portfolio update, the 1K to 10K Grok portfolio got a nice little recovery. We're currently only down $407, which is 40.7%. None of our assets are green yet, but we're holding up a little bit better. Philly said, yo. Crypto Spaces said, feels like most are giving up on the market. That's exactly what it feels like. Philly said, I'm here. Yeah, everyone thinks we're entering a bear market, and in which case people are rightfully, in my opinion, giving up on altcoins because, in my opinion, if we are entering a bear market, I think alts are going to have a very, very hard time surviving after this. Because who would want to buy an altcoin when Bitcoin outperforms them? Starting from the bottom, Fetch is down 62. Aptos is down 53. Proppy is down 50. Ondo is down 46. Render is down 44. Shib is down 43. ADA is down 31. Or no, I'm sorry, 39. Doge is down 34, Near is down 24, and Sol is down 16. And then we've got our meme coin portfolio, which is currently down 524, nope, 523, 52.3%. None of the assets are in the green. Starting from the bottom, GigaChat is down 166, Snek is down 123, Pepe is down 99, Whip is down 75, and Doge is down 63. And then the narrative portfolio, my favorite and the most stable portfolio, is currently only down 140 or 28%. We do have one asset still in the green. This portfolio is made up of one meme coin, one artificial intelligence coin, one decentralized physical infrastructure coin, one real world asset coin, and one gaming coin. And it is absolutely killing it. Like I said, we do have one asset still in the green. The rest are in the red. Starting from the bottom, Fetch is down 50. VeChain is down 46. Pepe is down 31. Mana is down 29. And Tau is up 14. Somehow, Tau is literally carrying the entire portfolio. What do you got for me, Philly? Last but not least, we've got the Perfect Entry portfolio currently down $351, 35.1%. We've got 0 assets in the green. Starting from the bottom, Avalanche is down 58, Render's down 49, Sui is down 46, Pith is down 44, Ondo is down 39, Graph is down 39, Crow is down 28, Sol is down 22, ETH is down 20, and Chainlink is down 9. And that is it. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Let me take a look at Philly's question. Bitcoin 92,360. Philly said, JJ thinks we're going to have a 2026 Mercado. JJ, I got a good question. If some alts don't recover, which high-ranking alts could disappear? Ooh, that's actually a great question. All right, let's do this. Just for fun, obviously. What altcoins do we think are going to disappear if we are entering a bear market and alts are dead? I'm going to add this to our our jumbled mess of junk that we have over here. Well, let me go to the weekly. Zoom out. Jumbled mess of junk. Let's go. Okay, if we are in a bear market, these are the alts, the blue chips. I don't think will recover. And again, this is just for fun. I don't actually have anything against any of these projects. Crypto Spaces said, I wouldn't be shocked if Say dies. Nobody uses it. Ooh, that's actually good. Let's go check out this metric on Dex Screener. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Arbitrum. ICP. Say, Aptos. Ada. Ada's in there. Algorand. Phantom. What is Blast? Or Polkadot and their flaming butthole logo. Ape Chain, Flare, Doge Chain, Cello. I can't believe Cello's still around. Scroll's interesting. I kind of like the logo. Conflux. Alright, I'm probably not going to use any of this. There's way too many of these stupid ecosystems. Alright. I'm thinking. Billy said, type the answer on the Jumbotron. Let's see. Right now, what ones are not going to recover? We already know Bitcoin Cash, Zcash, Chainlink all survive bear markets. I'm not going to touch the top 10. I think Hyperliquid is safe. They're totally fine because they got revenue. I don't even know what this stupid Una said Leo is. I literally have no clue what this is. It's the most confusing one out there. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Good evening. This is Mike with US Healthcare. I'm calling to inform you 2026.
Stupid. All right. HBAR got their ETF, but they're really not, like, what are they doing? What else are they doing? I'm going to put HBAR. I'm putting HBAR on the list. HBAR is going up there. Number 1. Next, we've got... I really like SWE, but they're really getting, like snuffed out. I think Ton is done for sure. Toncoin. I think Toncoin is a scam. I'm going to go ICP right out the gate. CryptoSpaces said XRP is so funny. No one uses the chain, but because of the XRPers, it survives. Dude, that whole situation kind of blows my mind. That right there, that alone shows you the power of like guerrilla marketing. And the power of the community. If the community can do that, then a community can do anything. Like, seriously. Polkadot, I feel like Polkadot could make a comeback. I really do. I don't know why I feel that way. Oh, jeez. My brain, we've seen the community. They're resilient. You know, they made some bad governance votes on how to spend their funds. I don't know what the heck Canton is. What the heck is Canton? Kronos. How is Kronos different from... Oh, maybe I just didn't see that yet. Mantle, I don't even know what that is. World Liberty, Tau, Aster. What is Aster? Aster is just a perpetual DEX. Is that all it is? What am I looking at here? Oh. Okay. I think Aster is probably going to be around too because they got the same thing as Hype. ICP I think is junk. Aptos is kind of flavor of the week. Pepe Pie. All right, I'm gonna go. We're through the top 50 now. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna point out all the flavor of the week ones. I think HBAR, Ton, and ICP are done for. Flavor of the week coins that have to put in more work or risk disappearing forever. Again, this is just my opinion. These are the flavor of the week coins that I think they're in trouble. They're like on the chopping block. Okay. Flavor of the week chopping block coins. CryptoSpaces said Crow isn't bad. It has a sex. Yeah, I like Crow. Polygon Pride S. See, I would say that too, but Poly Market, I think, is built on Polygon. It's like Temu, Binance, what, Aster? Or Polygon, or Crow. CryptoSpaces said Aster because of Binance. CZ supports it. Philly said, how the F did Polygon even survive this year? Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, I think Baby Doge and any Pepe derivatives. Pepe 2, Pepe. I have no words for any of those. We're talking like blue chips, like top 50. I'm not going to dig too deep. Okay, so here's my flavor of the week. These are my flavor of the week picks. Are you ready? I'm not saying these are going to die, but I do think that they're going to fizzle out. I am going to put hype on the list. I'm putting hype on my flavor of the week list. Because everyone loves a perp dex until the market's doing bad and they can't long, and then they get rugged, and then eventually people stop trading and they don't make enough revenue. And they're used to putting down this much money every week, and then they suddenly don't, and then the team pieces out. CryptoSpaces said Pengu should survive. I actually agree with that one. Flavor of the week coins. Let's keep going. Zcash, ZEC. Zcash is a flavor of the week coin. You will not convince me otherwise. If somebody comes in here and they're like, "You're an idiot. We're thinking Zcash is a flavor," I don't care. Then let me be an idiot. Monero. See, Monero has like pretty consistently stayed in the top 50. At least from as far as I can remember. Flavor of the week. Flavor of the week. Sui. Sui is unfortunately slowly but surely melting away. I hate this list. I do, because I like some of these coins. Toncoin, definitely flavor of the week. Ton. Crow is flavor of the week. I don't know if they're gonna stay in the top 50. Aster. Because what's gonna stop a new DEX from showing up, having better deals, better options available, better user interface, whatever, and just from taking their market share? Near and ICP. Actually, I'm not gonna put Near on there because Near's been around a while. They're kind of starting to slowly become a derivative of Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin. They're just like here forever. ICP though, I think, is a complete scam. What else do we got? Aptos, ENA, APT, ENA, Aster. I don't even know her. What's going on, Blockchain Brute? WLD. Unfortunately, I have to add Pi and Pi is not unfortunate, but I have to add Ondo. Pi, Ondo, WLD. And I think that's it. Out of the top 50, my flavor of the week coins that I think will disappear unless they really put in some work and capture more market share is Hype, Zcash, Sui, Ton, Crow, Aster, ICP, Aptos, Ethena, Pi, Ondo, and WorldCoin. I got nothing against these as a whole. I will tell you what ones I actually thoroughly hate. I hate Toncoin. I think Toncoin is a scam. I hate ICP. I think ICP is a scam. I hate Picoin. I don't know if Picoin... I would not call Picoin a scam. I just don't like it because they print like crazy. And I believe that they actually were considered a scam until recently. People had been like mining it and minting it and whatever for like years, and then suddenly they were like, "Oh, we're not scamming you. We came out with this thing that we were supposed to come out like last bull market." Not a fan of Ton and ICP though. Those are the two that I would never touch on this list. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, "I have a nice bag of HBAR. I haven't picked up any in a while, but it almost feels like a stable coin at this point." The only thing that I will say HBAR really has going for it is Kevin O'Leary. Now, I will say Kevin O'Leary, unfortunately, doesn't have a lot of money compared to other people. Like, he floats around these groups of billionaires, and I don't know if he is a billionaire. Let me see. Kevin O'Leary net worth. I know Mark Cuban has way more money than him. Yeah, Kevin O'Leary is only worth 400 million. Mark Cuban is worth 6 billion. So, do with that what you will. Out of the Shark Tanks, Kevin O'Leary, unfortunately, is like A small shark. What is a small shark? He's a Kevin O'Leary is a dwarf lantern shark. No, actually, even better, he's a dwarf pygmy shark. Dwarf pygmy shark. Hang on. Let's pull it up. Dwarf pygmy shark is absolutely adorable. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. Wonderful. This is Kevin O'Leary. Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary, Shark Tank. Very cool. Congratulations on H-Bar. All right, let's get back to Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm entirely sold on the bear market situation. I do like this stupid BS. Billy said, isn't Wild a ChatGPT token? I'm not sure. Or World, whatever it's called. I think it has some mild affiliation to what's his name, but I'm not positive. Crypto Spaces said, now let's speculate coins that can get to top 50. Ooh, that's actually a good one too. We'll save that for another episode. Gourmet Brands of Book and said, don't scold me. I'm a paying customer. Blockchain Blue said Kevin O'Leary versus BitBoy at Crypto Fight Night. That would never happen, dude. They hated each other, and then they ran into each other in person, and they kissed each other's ass. It was pretty gay. And not in, like, the homosexual way. In, like, the 1990s gay way. Crypto Spaces said, yes, Philly. WLD is by Sam Altman. Yeah, he's got plenty of time to put into his cryptocurrency project. Drummer said, a baby shark, do. Yes, sir. Philly said, Kevin should kick BitBoy in the balls. Is BitBoy still streaming? He got out and he went back to streaming, and like I think everyone wanted it to be a big story, but he was like so deflated. It was kind of sad. Like I don't know if he's medicated or something. No, he's still streaming. Is he back? This is 9 months ago. Hold on, let me see his most recent thing. I'm just gonna click on it. Okay, he's using StreamYard. That's cool. He looks like he's maybe in a house now, which is good. He's got coffee. He looks better. He looks a little better. I hope he's doing good. I really do. I don't know. He seems like unfortunately he seems like he got his soul sucked out. And I mean that in the most non-offensive way possible. Like he used to have all kinds of energy and stuff, and that just seems all gone now, and it makes me sad. It really does. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, what about Dash? Let's actually go look at Dash, because that was that's on the list of privacy coins, isn't it? Yeah, Dash unfortunately got dashed to the side, it looks like. Or maybe not. Maybe it's doing the parabola thing. Can we make a parabola out of this? Maybe. Ooh. Maybe it's doing one of these. Or like a little more gentle of a parabola. Maybe it's doing one of these. I don't know. Do with that what you will. Blockchain Bruce said not sucked up by Trump. Well, I got a really good one. I posted this in the Discord earlier. Hold on. This is cracking me up. Somebody posted this on X. Look, they're like, Epstein files released. Everything. P.S. Donald Trump did not F Bill Clinton. Oh, I was cracking up, dude. This was funny. That's my favorite, dude. Like, legit, I was cracking up with my with my fiance. We were talking about it. I was like, dang, all of his stuff had, like, before Trump was like, stop talking about him. We're not going to talk about Epstein. That guy's an idiot. And then people were like, did you hear that Donald Trump and Bill Clinton did a bunch of weird gay stuff? And he's like, release the files. I'm not gay. He got so worked up. Oh, you're cracking up, dude. Philly said, JJ, forgot one ETH Classic. I see ETH Classic, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash all have like maintained a healthy relationship with the top 50. And I don't know if it's because they have like diehard holders or what. They exist and they hold up. Maybe not over a long period of time, but they have managed to at least maintain some semblance of their higher market cap by comparison to these flavor of the week coins that come and go so frequently. That is why I thoroughly enjoy the historical coin market cap chart, because we can check what coins were really popular last bull market. Dash, I don't know enough about Dash as a coin. Does it have an ecosystem? Is it an L1? Like what? Why would I ever want to buy this besides the fact that it is coupled in the privacy sector simply on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap or whatever? Which, by the way, is kind of the biggest sham the categories on there, because apparently VeChain is like a AI coin or something. It's all just junk. It's all one big meme. It cracks me up. JSU 2.0 said, sup family. What's going on, JSU 2.0? Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, sup bro. Yeah, the categories crack me up. We got rehypothecated crypto, Binance Alpha memes, Solana ecosystem. I want to go to AI and big data. Sure. Real world assets. Both of these have like, there's coins in these categories. This one's AI/big data. Near has nothing to do with AI or data. ICP, same thing. Filecoin, I guess data. Render, yeah, renders AI. Virtuals, I don't know anything about. Injective, the graph, Theta network, like the basic attention tokens. How the hell is this AI? This is for Brave browser. It goofs, it cracks me up, dude. This is the goofiest shit. The baby DOGE token is AI and big data? Okay. Like, get out of here, dude. Get out of here. You really, unfortunately, you have to still deep dive. You can't trust CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko at face value, because they're like, oh, you want to pay us to be in the AI category? Okay. Like, is Dash really in any way, shape, or form privacy oriented? Or are they just in the category on CoinMarketCap because they paid to be in there? You know what I mean? And then that resulted in a pump. It's goofy, man. It's goofy. Saeed said, hi, sir. From which country is this live stream from? I am in America, actually, in Michigan, which is the state shaped like a mitten. Or I think my screen is mirrored, so for you, it looks like this. All right. Historical, I believe it's November 2021. 2021. Is it? Let's just confirm. I want to go to total 3, and I want to zoom out on the daily. Really zoom out here. We can either go May of 2021 or November of 2020. Let's go November. Let's go November, and literally pretty much anything before like the 16th. November 14th. Perfect. Beautiful. This is like all-time high last bull market, it seems. Ish. We'll call it ish. This is the average all-time high on total 3, which is the entire cryptocurrency market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, from the last bull market. And it looks very, very similar to what we have today. Polkadot is not in the top 10. And that's actually it. I think everything else is currently. The only one that's added is Tron. Yeah. Wow. So it does not look that different, which is quite promising, actually. It makes you feel a little bit good. It does. Because it's not so flippy, floppy, wishy-washy. So let's see what ones are gone. Polkadot is way knocked out of the top 10. Polkadot's number 26 and falling. So hopefully they can do a little bit better. Apparently they got some kind of esports thing going on, which is cool. Maybe they can make a comeback in gaming. Avalanche is actually doing relatively decent. It's not 90. When did Avalanche get the $95? Holy shit. Why don't I remember that? $95 Avalanche is crazy. I really like Avalanche for gaming, actually, which is ironic because I was just talking about gaming and Polkadot. See, this $14.52 for Avalanche seems stupid cheap. I'm probably going to load up on Avalanche here. I think that's crazy. So it's only 60% circulating, though? What's going on with that? When are these unlocks happening? Okay, it's very slow. What is it? February? The next one's in February? Nope. Yeah. February. And then we've got August. Every 6 months, it looks like. Every 6 months, a chunk of Avalanche is unlocked. And it looks like they're unlocking foundation funds. Is that it? That doesn't make any sense. The other ones are increasing though, but the dollar amount or the quantity isn't changing. That's weird. Okay, anyways. Litecoin, Chainlink. See, all of these are still pretty much relatively around. Wrapped Bitcoin. I'm so glad Wrapped Bitcoin is gone. I don't even know what that. Why was Wrapped Bitcoin on here? It's just Bitcoin. Like, why would it be in the top anything? It is just Bitcoin wrapped on another chain. Crypto.com coin. I'm glad they changed the name to Kronos. Uniswap is still relatively relevant. Bitcoin Cash is like oddly higher. Binance USD. Whatever happened to that? Is that even around anymore? It is. Whoa. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said Baby Doge has zero utility, totally useless. Is that the one that was on the on the AI on the AI list? That's crazy. Algorand, I feel so bad for Algorand. Number 54. I actually feel worse for Algorand than I do for Polkadot. Like what is the issue here? Do they have zero marketing or something? And then even then I can't even make the argument because Cardano has no marketing as well. And we're still in the top 10. Why did Algorand fail where Cardano somehow succeeded with zero marketing? You can try to you can tell me till you're blue in the face that the tech is better or whatever, but like I don't think people actually care about that. Nobody actually cares about the tech. Except for the people that are building, definitely not watching a live stream of some random dude talk about flavor of the week coins from last bull market. VeChain, I'm actually glad VeChain's gone out of this. Axie, what happened to Axie, dude? This thing was $142 once upon a time. What's their all-time high? Give it to me. This thing went up to 140. Oh my gosh. What was it back here? This one. It was 140. Ooh, dang. It's $1.33 right now. Yeah, they had to have printed a crap ton of it in order for that to happen. Total supply right now is 270 million. Back here, it was... Where's the circulating supply? 60. Okay, yeah, they like quadrupled. Jeez. Billy said, why the F would Wrapped Bitcoin be listed separately? That's my thing, dude. That's what cracks me up about certain like tracking sites like this, CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. They'll have staked ETH as a separate metric from ETH. It's all Ethereum. You know what I mean? Like when you ask how many cars did Ford make this year, and they say like 1 million, and then you're like, but how many parked cars exist that Ford made this year? Well, it's like 500K. They didn't make 1.5 million cars. They made 1 million cars, and 500,000 of them are parked. You know what I mean? It's just like a weird way of measuring things. It just doesn't make sense to me. They're like, there's this much Ethereum in the world. There's this much ETH in the world. And then also, this much of it is staked. And we're tracking them. But somehow, like, this isn't removed from this. It just doesn't make sense. It's stupid. It's really dumb. Tron was number 27 back then. I think Tron is fully manipulated. I'm not convinced that anyone uses it. Never. I've had people come in. Look at this chart. This is not a scam chart. Are you kidding me? I've had people come in chat and ask me about every single coin except for Tron. No one has ever come in and said, can you take a look at the Tron chart? What do you think about Tron? Do you see Tron doing well this year? No. I don't think anything about Tron. Nobody's ever asked me about Tron. Nobody has ever used Tron. It just exists and it happens to be in the top 10. It makes zero sense to me. And you're not going to convince me it's because, oh, people are using it for moving tokens and like, what? When? And how often are people moving stuff to that would inflate the market cap this high? I don't know. I think it's a scam. I think it's going to do what Ohm did. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Who knows? Maybe it's just an ego thing like Richard Hart. ETH Classic, Cosmos. I still can't believe what happened to Cosmos with that October 10th situation. Giovanni said, still live. Let's effing go. Just got off work. Hell yeah. What's going on, Giovanni? Happy Tuesday, my friend. Pretty good day today. I had a wonderful day. Cosmos, Adam. Yeah, this one's just sad. This one also makes me sad. Jeez. When there's zero activity, like it doesn't even look like it tried to have a bull market. That just like upsets my brain. Philly said, Gourmet, don't trash baby Doge. I have 120 trillion of them at a total wallet size of $8. Philly, imagine if it went to $1. Dude, we should make a bunch of videos like that. Just find a coin that has like a ridiculously large circulating supply and be like, how many baby Doge do you need to be a millionaire in 2026? See how many people we can get to subscribe to us. That would be so funny. What was I looking for? What was I looking for? Cosmos? No. ETH Classic, Theta, FTX, HBAR. I don't remember. Billy said, JJ, can you look at the Tron chart? I'm thinking of investing. Shut up, Billy. I was about to as well. I was about to do it. Gourmet Brands Broken said, sorry, not a fan. Massive supply, no real product. Entirely community/meme driven. I mean, is the community not the product at that point? I understand the no real product part, though. You do. We are coming to a head with people maybe not necessarily wanting utility or tech, but they do want income. When a token or a project has revenue, it's a lot more attractive. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Look at this. Look at that. This is like looking in a time capsule. Dang. I'm genuinely curious if anyone like loaded up, like let's say Terra does their stablecoin thing and some guy's like, I don't want to do crypto anymore. I'm just going to invest in it. And they load up. They just put all of their money into Terra and like, or the Terra Classic stablecoin. They stake it and then they remove all of their apps. They're like, I'm not looking at it for 10 years. They're going to come back in 10 years and they're going to look at this and they're going to see that it collapsed like 3 days after they deleted all their apps and stuff. And they're going to be like, oh shit. That's crazy. All right, Helium. I'm surprised. Where is Helium right now? It's at number 40 right here. It's at number 116. Really? I actually would have thought that this would have performed well. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say was when your coin looks like it didn't even try to have a bull market, that sucks. That sucks so bad. I will say, the top 10, Bitcoin made a new all-time high. ETH made a new all-time high. XRP made a new all-time high. I think BNB made a new all-time high. Solana made a new all-time high. Tron, I think, made a new all-time high. Doge and ADA have not made a new all-time high yet. JShear 2.0 said, bro, the stories that came out of the Luna thing will humble you so fast. Yeah, I don't even understand. I still don't know why anyone would have ever thought that that was a good idea. They're like, let's print the like underlying token to stabilize algorithmically our like dollar, our stablecoin, our Terra Luna stablecoin. So it was a mixed bag of Terra Luna and US dollar. And then when Luna collapsed, when the price went down, they would just print more to make it worth $1 again. And no one stopped and went, wait a minute, isn't the printing going to decrease the value of it more? And I don't know. It blows my mind. That's literally inflation. I can't wrap my head around it, man. I swear they did it on purpose. And you know what's even more messed up? Do Kwon named his daughter Luna. I feel bad for that little girl. Jay Shear, yep, yep, yep. Philly said I forgot about that zero dumpage. Jay Shear, dude, I lost a lot from that. Philly was in Voyager with me too, weren't you, Philly? I got out of there 3 months before the collapse. Let me actually read my messages on X. I have my original chat with the CEO, who, by the way, his entire bio on X, he's still on X. It says nothing about, hey, I ran the exchange, the centralized exchange Voyager, and rugged everybody. Oh, is it gone now? Dang, it might be gone. How do I get to like my old classic messages? Can I do that or no? No? What? That's ridiculous. I feel like X is getting greedy with their data and they're deleting all my shit. Crazy. All right, let's see. Gourmet Brad Brooklyn said, "Have you seen this one trading lately? Trending lately? No idea what it is. 0 1 1 1 1 1 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 0 0 0. I have not. All right, Tron is a scam. Bitcoin dominance is also a scam. I can't wait for this scam coin to rug. Bitcoin dominance is gonna go to 0. No one even buys this. I've never had anyone ask me to look at this and what is a good buy level. Somebody new is gonna pop into the stream and they're gonna see me saying that and take it seriously and be like, this guy's an idiot. All right, total 3. Are we going to recouple to the fractal on total 3, or am I gonna have to scoot it? What if I scoot it? Can I scoot it? Is that cheating? That is most definitely cheating. I'm not gonna scoot it. I don't like scooting it because it makes it go lower. Billy said, yes, on Voyager. I sold everything a couple weeks before the scam. Nice. Good. Good, good, good. Yeah, dude, I had such a hard time getting my stuff off of there. Like, I think it literally was like 3 months before. I had to, like, Karen them on all of their marketing posts on X. And the CEO legit, like, sent me a private message and asked me for, like, my customer service ticket number or whatever. I gave it to him, and then within an hour, my transfer went through. After like weeks, I waited like 3 weeks for my money to be sent, and it said it would take like 3 to 5 business days, and it had been weeks. I was like, this is crazy. This is out of control. Arrow, man, I really do. I don't want to place the bet and then look like an idiot by like losing a crap ton of money, but it does look like it's gonna do this. And that from here, not financial advice, would be approximately, oh my gosh, even just 50%, going to $1.20. You can make so much money. Am I gonna do it? I'm thinking about it. I am thinking about it. The thought is crossing my mind. Billy said on September 16th, 2021, Atom Cosmos was $44. Yeah, let's actually go look at that. Cosmos. Where is it? Am I crazy? It was $31 here with a circulating supply of 200. Okay, so a quarter million, just under a quarter million circulating supply. Their current supply is 400 and okay, so they've doubled their circulating supply. So in order for Atom to reach $31 again, it would need about $14.2 billion market cap. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, "Is White Rock still around? What is that? Is that a coin? White Rock. White Rock. Number 312. This is a coin. Weird. The chart looks like doo-doo. Oddly enough, though, it looks better than some of the coins that we were looking at. The candles look like shit. Crazy.
It's so crazy to think about this, man. Like, this is what I'm talking about when I said, imagine, like, it's real bad when the coin looks like it doesn't even try to have a bull market this time around. Like, this chart went up and down. There's no in between. There's no action after the down. It just went down and down. Like, some of the other charts, they go up. They peaked in 2021, and then they went like this. This year, they went like this. And maybe they're down on the lows again, but they still tried. This is trying. You know what I mean? It's crazy. What's a good example of a coin that tried? Right, Chainlink. Yeah, look at Chainlink tried. Chainlink tried to have a bull market here. This is 2021. This is 2025. 2024. 2024 again. I'm just saying. Philly said, oh shit. I still had that one coin on Voyager I couldn't sell. I can't even remember which coin it was. It was about $400. My poor wife lost about 2K to 3K because of that Voyager BS. Adam was 44 on KuCoin. Yeah, I'm not saying that was this is not the exact all-time high of Adam, Philly. This is just the day that I picked. It was $31. Adam did hit a total all-time high of, yeah, $44. And that's probably across every exchange. So if I go to like January 2022, September 2021, let's do that. September 2021. 2021, September 12th. Adam is... Da, 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 da. Hey, look, ADA's $2.50. That's crazy. $35. Okay, I must have picked the wrong day. September 19th. Adam is $44. There we go. With a circulating supply of 221. Okay, so let's do this math here. We've got 478,440. No, okay. Divided by Cosmos, hold on, bear with me. 221,636,470. 478,440,000. That answer, okay, so they have 2.15x'd their circulating supply. So 2.15 times their current market cap. Nope, their previous market cap of whatever this number is. Copy. So in order for Adam to get to $44.54 again, they would need their market cap to reach 21.2254 billion US dollars. Actually, I think it's more because this is 2158. So let's do this. 21.304 billion US dollars. In order for, and this right here is the importance of market cap and circulating supply. Their circulating supply has an asterisk next to it because it is not capped. Or it's not capped at the moment. It has not reached its peak yet. They are still printing. So since they have doubled their circulating supply, their market cap by default would have to double as well in order for them to reach this previous price of $44.54. So keep that in mind if you guys are ever looking at coins and you're like, oh my gosh, Adam Cosmos has reached $44 before. It could go to $44 again. In theory, it could. It always, like, it can't always be that case though, unfortunately. Because some of them inflate so much that makes it impossible for the market cap to ever reach that high ever again. Jay Shear said, oof. Philly said, and now Adam is wished $2 and change. Unbelievable. It went to zero. It actually went to zero. Adam went to zero, and I believe during October 10th spike down right here. Adam went to zero, and people are saying a single entity, but a single purchaser, I believe, managed to grab 33% of the entire supply of Atom during that dip, which is freaking crazy. And I think that the amount of leverage is still just as out of control as it was that caused all of that downside nonsense. So, unfortunately, we're not out of the woods yet. We will be eventually, though. Eventually. Even if that results in just a Bitcoin-led cryptocurrency field with almost no altcoins. Obviously, only time will tell. But I'll still be here streaming for you guys every single day. So make sure you smash the like button. I'm probably going to call it an evening. I gotta take my daily selfie and do my rounds on X. Maybe get a couple of recordings done. Gourmet Brands Book said, yes, that's the one. 1.4 million market cap. Yeah. Yep. So, anyways, guys, as always, if Bitcoin starts to do anything crazy, I'm going to hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Happy Tuesday and good night.